Hi, I'm going to demonstrate another restorative strength session for you. Again, these are intended to be both a stretch and a strengthening session. They're really good if you are early postpartum, often good to do before bedtime, just something to get a little bit of work in that deep core and stretch out your hips and often your back a little bit. So here we go. So we're going to start this one with a swan dive into a ragdoll. Super easy here, just getting kind of warmed up. Feet can be width apart. You're going to reach up, swan dive down. You can grab opposite elbows depending on your flexibility level, or you can hang your arms down at the ground, sway from side to side. Starting with your core, roll up all the way, up again, and swan dive back down. I'm going to grab opposite elbows this time, shake from side to side, shake your head no and yes, drop it down, roll up slowly and purposefully, really tugging from that lower core as you come to stand back up. Now we're going to take a cat-cow position. These are super simple, but there's variations you can do on them. So you're going to do a cat, or a cow, excuse me, and then you're going to go into a cat position. Again, tugging from your lower abs, go into a cow, do a little bit of a Kegel here, going back to our cat, pulling with your hips, pulling with your lower abs, back out to your cow. Slowly do a Kegel, hold it, 2, 3, back out, back to your cat, and back to your cow. Pull it in for a Kegel, 3, 2, 1, and back in again. This is normally going to be about 6 to 8 reps. These often feel really good. Do them as long as you're comfortable. You can even sway from side to side a little bit in each position. Turn your head from side to side, especially if you're holding a little one all day. It's easy for your neck to get really tight. So the next thing that we're going to do is going to be a down dog to a plank position. So you're going to stay down on the ground, and you're going to go into a down dog first, and then pulling with your lower abs, thinking about taking a string from your hips straight up to the air. You're going to get on your tiptoes, bring your feet in, and then tiptoe them back into a plank. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Again, leading with your hips. You're going to tiptoe your feet back in, out to hip width apart, stretch into downward dog. You can pedal your feet here. You can tuck your knees in, get a little bit of a stretch going. Pull up again using your hips. Nice deep tuck in the abs. Tuck your feet back in, tiptoe it back to your plank. Hold 1, 2, 3. You can hold it a little bit longer if your planks are stable. If you're early postpartum, limit this to 3 to 5 seconds. Then you're going to tiptoe your feet back in and back to hip width apart for your downward dog. And again, do as many reps as you're prescribed. That's usually going to be anywhere between 6 and 10. You're always welcome to do more, or you can repeat these sets 2 to 3 times. Next thing you're going to do is a lunge with reach. Again, a strength and stretch. So we're going to start on our right leg. Get a nice deep high lunge. Putting your hands on your hips. Make sure that your hips are both facing forward. Then you're going to lean over and reach down. Get a nice big stretch. Focus on keeping this hip down. You don't want to tuck it too far this way. Keep it down. Stretch up, look up to that hand. You should feel this in here. Drop the hand back down outside your foot. If you are pregnant, you can drop both of your hands, this is true for yoga too, right inside that foot. So instead of doing this, keep them right inside. That'll leave some clearance for your belly. So I'll just continue to demo from here. So for my purposes, I'm going to put my hand on the outside now, take my other arm, bring it up. Again, make sure that that hip is tucked parallel to the other one. And bring it back down, keeping that lunge position. You're just going to come up, take your arms forward, make sure that your chest, basically the line of your boobs should be right over your knee. Stretch it straight forward and down, switching legs. I'll go back to the side so you can see. Go into a nice deep lunge. Check yourself by standing up in a high lunge, hands on your hips. Make sure your hips are parallel. Keep them parallel, drop down. Keep that hip down, stretching all the way up to the sky. Looking up towards that upper hand. Back down. Taking your other hand all the way up to the ceiling. Keep looking up. Your hamstring and your quad should start to feel this a little bit. Then you're going to take your hands, again keeping that feet parallel. You carry your hips parallel, you can move your foot in a little bit, stretch your arms straight out front. Count to at least 5 here. And back down. So we're going to take it down to the floor now for your seated leg lifts. I give these often. They look really easy, but they can often be very hard. Good activation for that very deep core. So you're going to put your hands, I'll go to the side to show you. Put them all the way next to the, basically parallel with your back, and then slide them forward so that they're right in line, like with the front of your belly a little bit. My shirt's kind of loose, so you can't tell. So put them right in front of you, and then you're just going to lift your leg. You should really feel that pull from your lower abs. A little bit on the top of that quad. You're going to hold each leg up for just a few seconds. Doesn't take much more than that. Every once in a while, kind of recenter yourself. Keep breathing. What you don't want to do is lean back and go like this. That's not doing anything. And if you lean too far forward, you're going to have to rock. So you want to sit nice and still. Keep short, controlled movements. When you're all finished, you're just going to swing your feet around. Drop into child's pose. Head to the ground. You can pedal to each side. Sometimes it feels really good. I'll show you from this angle. When you're in child's pose, to take your outer arm, walk it all the way around. Get a nice deep stretch in your side right here. Walk it around to the other side. Stretch out that side. And right back to center. And that's where we end it.